Okay, at this point, this is like therapy for me. Here I am again, sitting on my bed, ready to tell you guys a fun little story about my previous work life. All these stories are things that I've just kept quiet, and all these stories have affected me mentally, and they have all molded me into the person that I am today. And the fact that I've never expressed these feelings and emotions and these experiences out loud is like really surprising, because I've never really fully healed from any of these stories. I still find myself crying at nighttime, like wishing none of this happened. This is no longer just trying to entertain people. This is also my therapy, because after telling my camera about my terrible boss, I just felt a lot better, because I finally told someone and I didn't have to keep it inside anymore, and people finally said, yeah, I agree with you and I know what you're going through and blah blah blah. So those comments and the people who have reached out and have said something to me, and the positive feedback that I've gotten from these videos, I just feel like I need to get everything else off my chest. I guess I'm going to continue this series because I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from it, and I'm just going to give the people what they want. This might be one of my most hardest / riskiest videos I've ever created, just because it involves people I don't have a problem with. Okay, so I'm going to make this very clear at the start of the video. I don't have a problem with any of these people at all. I've never ended a relationship with these people badly. In fact, I quite like these people. These are just specific stories that have occurred, and this person is one of the main characters. I've just had some disagreements with the things that they've done and the way they've made me feel at particular times. We're completely fine, we're chill, we're like in another universe, we're friends that hang out every day. But like in this universe, we are just people that used to work together, period. Okay, period. If you're watching this, I don't hate you, but like I don't know if you're gonna be watching this. Like I don't know, maybe there's a possibility. Let's be honest, okay? I don't hate you. This is so weird. Like, I've never done this. I've never ever called out someone that I don't have a problem with. Like, it's weird. This is like a weird feeling, okay? Weird feeling, okay? So let's just get into this makeup. Let's just get into this tea, okay? Let's just get into this tea. As most of you know, and as most of you know who have been following this series of my terrible workplace previously that I last worked at, you know that my boss was a very bad man that didn't treat me nice, didn't treat the staff members nice, had some sexual harassment in there, bit of sexual harassment, bit of discrimination, bit of meanness, bit of, you know, just bit of bad energy sprinkled all around there. So with a bad boss comes not so great employees. It's just a recipe that, you know, gets mixed in with a bad boss, okay? With a bad boss you get bad employees, okay? On one instance, we had a staff member that is very experienced, knows what they're doing, and I basically didn't know what I was doing, so I'm already like, don't say it, don't say it, don't even tell this story. As soon as I tell this story, they're gonna know who they are. But again, I don't hate you, so it's like this staff member is one of the staff members, is the main staff member that is always late to work, okay? Doesn't do the most work, often find her in the office, often slacking around sort of thing. I'm not saying that she's the only one, like there's a lot of staff members that do this, but yeah, so I'm often the one who has to do the work while she isn't doing the work. Yeah, I don't know, let's just call her Rosa, okay? One day me and Rosa were working at one particular clinic that my boss owned, and she had to go to quarantine, which is another area of work that our vet clinic does, which is basically We go there, we visit a sick patient, and we like put them on fluids or like help them out or something. I haven't personally been there because I wasn't a senior staff member, but she was one of the people that would go. So she was assigned that job to go to quarantine, but we started off at the clinic. So I'm obviously running around, you know, doing my job and whatnot, and she's on her phone, just having a good time. She's known for about 20 minutes that she needs to go to quarantine, but she's kind of just like on her phone. And then the minute I ask her a question that she doesn't really want to help me with, she's like, oh, I gotta go quarantine, I can't help you. And then proceeds to text on her phone. So the situation was that my boss was about to rock up to the clinic any minute now, and I needed to have surgical drapes ready for surgery. They were wet, they were not dry, and I needed to work out how to turn the heater on so that these drapes could dry in time for the boss, so that I didn't get my ass kicked and my mental health stayed intact for that day. So I asked this senior staff member, hey, could you please just try and turn this heater on because I'm having a lot of trouble. She looks at me and she says, no, I have to go into quarantine after being on her phone for 20 minutes. I don't have time to show you how to work the heater. I'm like, okay, the boss is going to be here any minute and these drapes aren't dry. And I just need you to press a button and turn the heater on because it's not working for me. And you're telling me you don't have time even though you've been on your phone for 20 minutes. Excuse me. I think you should just try and turn the heater on, please. That was what I was thinking. I obviously didn't say that, but she was just telling me no, she doesn't have time. And then she basically walked off, got in her car and drove off and left me in the clinic by myself, literally freaking out because I can't get these drapes dry in time for surgery because I don't know how to work out the heater. So obviously when the boss is going to turn up, it's going to make me look like an idiot, and then he's going to have a go at me because these drapes aren't dry, even though I've asked another staff member to help me to turn the heater on, but she's too busy on her phone saying that I need to go into quarantine when she clearly could have just came and tried to turn the heater on. And if she couldn't do it, fine, that's okay, but she didn't even fucking try. She didn't even try. She's like, nah, I don't have time. This doesn't seem like a really big deal, big situation. I just got really upset because, you know, when you're trying to do something and you just can't do it and you get really frustrated? Yeah, that was me. Like, I literally, all you had to do was turn on the on button. Like, that's what I was instructed to do. And I'm trying to turn this heater on, but it's just not working for me. So I am like so frustrated. And then to top it off, she won't even try to turn it on for me. On many occasions, I've been really upset because I'm really hard on myself. If I do something wrong, I am very hard on myself. I feel useless, I feel stupid, I feel dumb. Like, so if you come up to me and you tell me that I misspelt a word, it'll bother me all day. You can imagine, like, bigger things, they really get to me, and that's not a good quality of mine, but that's this one staff member. Other than this sort of stuff, like, we can have a good joke and, you know, she'll laugh at me, I'll laugh at her. There is maybe about 2 or 3 more staff members there that are really, really not nice at times. They will speak to you like you're very small, very little. They are better than you. They know more than you, they're more experienced than you. So you're kind of irrelevant in their eyes, and if you do something bad or if you make a mistake, it's like a really big deal. Yeah. I guess, like, because these staff members have been there for longer, so they kind of feed off each other. So the boss will feed off the employees and the employees will feed off the boss, and I think they all learn these bad habits and these bad languages from each other. Now this is probably a very small portion of the staff members, so we probably all up have about 30 staff members, and only about 6 or 7 are not really that great, but it does make an impact, that's for sure. And it's not only is it the way they speak to each other, or they spoke to me, it's their work ethic, their motivation, their lack of teamwork. Like, most of them will just sit in the office and pretend like they're doing work, and they'll make someone like me go and do the work that they should be doing, because a lot of them are like that. I was very underappreciated, I feel. There were very few staff members appreciated the work that I did, but those staff members who did appreciate the work that I did were those staff members that actually did work as well. In my last video I was talking about like how my mental health wasn't good working there, but it wasn't just from the boss. Like, there were a lot of staff members there that made me feel terrible and just not good at all. So that one lady is just an example, I guess, of the type of stuff that happens, the type of neglect that is issued upon me when working. I want to get into a bit of a sad story, but it's also a bit of a whirlwind. Like, this is a juicy story, I must say. When I started working there initially, he was normal. Like, he was really normal. He'd always make sure that you're okay, that you're not struggling. Maybe about 3-4 months later, things started to get weird. Things started to not make sense.